Well, hey there, folks. How's it going today? Hope you're all doing really good. Well, I guess this is part 3, I think, on this Squier Affinity that I've been working on. In the first video, we took it apart and just did an assessment on it. We had to plug 4 mystery holes in the neck pocket. We had some cracks as well that went through those holes, so I filled those with CA glue and flushed everything off. There was one other thing I noticed on this guitar. On the jack plate here, that's just a piece of hair or something. In the jack plate, there's only 2 screws, and actually they never even drilled out the other 2. You know, I call these first or last day guitars. As a joke, it's like it was the person's first day on the job or their last day on the job. I'm sure you guys get it. So the other issue was this. There was 8 holes in the heel of the neck, and they drilled them right next to each other. So as you can see, I plugged those up as well. I really don't know what was holding the screws in other than, you know, good faith, I guess. So I went down through also and fixed up the frets here and had some high frets. We pounded those down. Okay, well, I said we. I meant me, but as you can see, my cat Gibson has found his little spot on the bench, which is basically all of the bench. I'm going to have to move him in a minute. Anyway, I was getting ready to put this guitar back together, and I went around and tightened all the stuff up on it. All the nuts on the tuners were loose. I actually found 2 that are stripped. There's another one, I think it's back here. So I can't tighten it up. So again, whoever put this together at the factory, you know, like I said, maybe their first day, maybe their last day, maybe just not a good day. So I'm going to dig through my stuff here and see if I can find a couple and match these up and replace them. Okay, well, that was successful. Found an exact match here, so that's a good thing. I'm going to try to find one more here that we could use. It'll have to be the same direction. That tuner button looks a little bigger on that one. Let's keep digging. That one looks pretty close. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Alrighty. Okay, so these are the basic run-of-the-mill tuners you see on most inexpensive guitars now. They do have a little alignment stud that sticks out here. And there you go. It's good to hang on to them. I know they're not the greatest tuners in the world, but they do work. I keep them just for this reason, because there's a lot of guitars, a lot of companies that use them. So you do run into this, you know, where they fail, and it's just good to have a spare whoop that matches it, and you know, get you out of replacing them all at least. Okay, 10mm wrench should do it. Yeah, nice. You know, that can cause a lot of rattling. It really is going to kill the tone too, because it's a lot of vibration that's getting absorbed with the tuner rattling, okay? I got to find the other one that's stripped here. It's not that one. It could be this A string. We got to keep digging, Gibson. Okay. Yeah, it is the A string tuner, so we're going to get rid of that one. This is probably the worst Squier I've dealt with, honestly. I've seen all kinds of funky stuff on these things, but This one did have a lot of stuff wrong with it, and, you know, I'm sure this is going to sound immensely different when we get it back together. Another thing I noticed is a lot of slop in the holes. You know, they could have drilled those a little smaller, but, you know, that's just what it is. I like to have them kind of touching the wood for vibration. I'd rather have the wood take the vibration, because that just equals tone, right? And resonance. Okay. Well, we got 6 tuners that function. Now I'm going to tighten the screws up on the top of a few of them. They're really flimsy feeling, so, you know, you can adjust the tension of how hard they turn by, you know, adjusting these screws here. Tighten them up and they turn harder, obviously, and loosen them just a little bit and they'll be easy to turn. But, you know, I like to tighten them up a little bit. That way it will hold, you know, the tension better. When you bend a note, it's not going to move the tuning machine, the machine head itself, I should say. Okay, we got 6 tuners in here that function now. That's all good, and they're tight. And I'm going to tighten a few of the screws up here on a few of them. They just feel really flimsy and loose. Now, if you tighten those up, the tuners will turn a little stiffer. Now, that helps with, you know, if you bend a note or anything, if it's real loose, it'll even move the machine head, you know what I mean? So a little bit of tension's good. You know, you want to be able to turn them without fighting it, obviously, but I like to have some resistance on them, so I know they're going to stay. If you don't believe me, you can ask old Gibson here. He knows more about fretwork than most humans, don't you, buddy? He always gets up on the bench when I do the fretwork. He just, I don't know what it is, he loves it. No biting. If you guys are new to the channel, old Gibsy cat here, he was a feral cat. Some nice person was dumping him, you know, his siblings in the river locally, and a girl rescued a bunch of them, and he was one of them. And he's got some Maine Coon cat in him. You can see the hair coming out of his ears here, and even got a stinger on his nose like the back of a headstock. Very smart kitty. Took me about 2 months before I could get him to come to me. He would go hide in the closet, and not social at all. As you can see now, he will not leave my side. Okay, I think we got the neck all ready to go. I've cleaned all the frets up. I crowned out a few string gouges down here and took care of the fret ends. Feels really good in your hand. No sharp anything there. So I really, really pride myself on my fret work. It takes me a long time. I'm really meticulous about it, but that's your connection to that guitar. Even if it's, you know, no matter what it is, that is the most personal part of it, is holding that neck in your hand, right? And, you know, you don't want to feel anything sharp there when you're playing the guitar at all. So, Gibson's going to check it out. What do you think, buddy? Pretty good, ain't they? Okay, well, I think we're ready to put the guitar back together. I got to get Gibson off the bench and get him calmed down here, and we'll get right to it, huh, buddy? Alrighty. Alright, we got the strings all on it, and put a set of 942s on it. And we're just going to check the intonation. Now, I've already adjusted the E string. It was way off, so let's give the rest of them a look. Okay, there's the E. Just going to let that settle out. It's pretty handy. Okay, now it's showing it's a little sharp. Okay, so just remember, if they're sharp, then you need to tighten the saddle up, or the saddle screw here in this case. So I usually let a little slack off it at the same time that I tighten it, just so it doesn't bind the string in there too bad. Alright, we're a little sharp. That's pretty handy. Okay, just a whisker more. So I'm going to tighten the screw up a little bit. That should do it. Pretty handy. Okay, so let me get it just in tune here on the E. This can be finicky, you know, you gotta just take your time, get it right though. Alright. Okay, it's still showing it's sharp, so I'm gonna tighten that up some more. Bring it back up to pitch here. Alright, that's what we want. She settled out there. So just remember, if you hit the note on the 12th fret, you know, hit it open, tune it, and then hit it on the 12th fret. Try to pluck it straight up if you can, or do it in player position is also good. And if it's sharp, just remember, when you pluck the note at the 12th fret, if it's sharp, then you need to move the saddle, you know, away from the neck. If it's flat at the 12th fret, then you need to loosen the screw and let the saddle come towards the neck, or the heel of the neck, if you will. All right, onto the A string here. Okay. That's pretty good right there. All right, let's check the D. Could use a little bit. It's pretty close, though. I'm just going to take it a little bit. That should about do it. Okay, 12th fret. A little bit sharp still. Move it just a little more. Tightening the screw. Pulling the saddle away from the neck. Okay, let's check out the 12th again. Just a whisker more. It's got to be right, though. It's just how it goes, you know. You start playing chords all over the neck, and some will be in tune, some won't. Very important. It's pretty close. I also like to make sure my truss rod adjustment is where I'm going to be, so that doesn't change if, you know, if I truss the neck afterwards here. Alright, so I try to keep it straight. I do need to adjust the action a little bit on these saddles. I've just kind of guesstimated a little bit just so I could get it up and playing and check the frets for buzzes. And that one's still sharp, so we got to tighten it. So I will mess with the action. I got a string gauge, so you can make it to the exact contour. Okay, we got the D. I'm going to go through the other ones real. Okay, I almost forgot to put the screws in the jack plate. Remember, they didn't drill these out, so I'm taking an awl here and just finding the center of the hole, making a good mark. And it'll give me a place to start a drill bit and be centered. Okay, so I'm getting some holes drilled here. If you guys take any advice from any videos that I've done, this one's really important. Always pre-drill or use an awl or something to make a hole if you're going to put a screw in your guitar, anywhere in the guitar. If you're putting string trees on or anything like that, or tuners, do not try to just put the screw in. Generally, the screws are not great, you know, and they break off really easy. So if you break a screw off, that's a whole lot of work trying to get them out sometimes. So take that advice to heart, honestly. I speak from experience, and always pre-drill. First time I ever changed a set of tuners on a guitar when I was a kid, I didn't drill, and I was putting the screw in to hold the tuner, and snapped it off. First one. I was like, oh, cool. Now what do I do? It's actually still in the headstock. I just left it there. It's still a stud, and you know, it's flushed off to the top of the hole in the tuner, but it won't spin. But lesson learned. Okay, so we'll put the last one in here. You know, it is important to have all these in here. If it's a squared jack, you know, if you don't, you're just going to snag that on your shirt or something, and it'll break off anyway. It'll probably break anyway, because these usually do over time, but, you know, you can convert them. I did it to mine. I put a round, you know, like an American Telly recessed round jack plate in mine. And I did a video on it too, if you guys want to check it out. But in any case, this works just great. Now we got all 4 screws in it, and it's ready to roll. Let's plug it in and see what it does. Alright, let's see what it sounds like acoustically. I'm using a heavy pick as normal. It's just how I do it, but I'm really kind of playing it heavy-handed too, just to see if anything buzzes really bad. That little baby rings, I'll tell you that. Very similar to mine. It might even ring more. I'm not really sure. I'll have to check them out, but these, when you get them set up right, these things can really turn into quite a guitar, actually. Alright, I'm going to plug it in. Okay, I'm just plugged into the shop amp here. It's a little Fender Sidekick over in the corner there. And I got a guitar strap that's really too short for me. But anyway, let's see what it sounds like. We'll start on the bridge pickup. Pretty sweet. Let's go to both pickups. Let's go to the neck. Okay. It sounds a lot like mine, honestly. It really does. I took the cover off the neck pickup on mine. I was going to change it. I think I told you guys this already, but I took the cover off, and it kind of gave it a little more sting, you know. They did it with humbuckers back in the day too, but the bridge pickup sounds good. It's got a lot of bark to it. It plays nice. The action on these, I should say, the action that I can achieve on one of these Squiers, for some reason, I can get these down to like 2/64 on the bass and treble, and they'll jangle a little bit if I dig in and strum real hard, but I can clean that right up with just my attack, so I like setting them up like that. But you can, for some reason, get this low action and it works. I've done this on several of these Squiers. Now I can get them pretty good on a Fender too, but it just seems like these are almost automatic when you get them, straightened out, I should say. We had a lot of issues with this one, but it turned out great, and it plays and sounds well too. Well, thanks again for watching, folks. We'll see you real soon. Be good. Okie doke.